You ever heard about a dog who didn't just save a life once, but kept doing it, quietly, unexpectedly, every single time? That's my story. If someone told me years ago I'd end up trapped in a death row cell with midnight ticking closer, my only hope a German Shepherd named Titan waiting just outside those bars, I'd have laughed and walked away. But here I am. And believe me, the system's teeth are far sharper than any dog's bite, especially when you're the wrong kind of different in the wrong kind of city. Let me take you back. When I first put on that detective badge, Westwood City wasn't ready. Not for a black woman leading the major crimes unit. Hell, some still aren't. I kept my head down, worked harder, closed more cases, earned every commendation. But none of that shielded me from the whispers, the quiet sabotage. Missing files, poisonous notes, backhanded compliments disguised as diversity hire. They didn't see me as the best cop, just a checkbox. You learn to live with it. You build your own family from the pieces. Mine was Titan. Astray, abandoned, broken. A shadow hiding behind a dumpster during a raid. The guy who wanted to put him down said he was too wild, too dangerous. But there was something in those eyes. A fire I recognized. I took him home, breaking every rule, and he turned out to be the smartest, bravest partner I ever had. He could track anyone, read people like a book, and when the world let me down, he rested his big head on my knee like to say, "I've got your back, boss." Then came the morning Maxwell Harrington was found dead in his penthouse. Shot in the head, no sign of break-in, just a lifeless body and headlines screaming about the city commissioner's brother-in-law. They called me to lead the investigation. But when things started not adding up, like his computer still being used after his death, I got yanked off the case. Conflict of interest, they said, though I'd never met the man. I argued. Orders were orders. Titan and I went home, but neither of us slept. Something screamed in my gut louder than any evidence. That night, everything exploded, literally. SWAT at my door, guns drawn, shouting for me to the floor. Titan lunged to protect me and got hit hard. They cuffed me so tight I bled, threw every insult they could think of, dragged me out while Titan whimpered, already talking about putting him down. My own captain leaned in and whispered, "Guess you forgot your place." Just like that, all. My years of service vanished in a heartbeat. They accused me of killing Harrington. They had evidence. My gun missing from home, my DNA under his nails, doctored texts filled with racial slurs I never sent, and footage of someone like me at the scene. No one listened. Not even my court-appointed lawyer who looked defeated. Before the trial even began, "Take the deal," he said, "or you'll die in that cell." But I refused. If I'm going down, it's fighting. Not just for me, but for the truth buried deep beneath all their lies. And Titan? They locked him up in animal control, slapped a euthanize within 48 hours tag on him just because he growled at a cop. To them, he was nothing but a problem, a loose end to be cut. But loyalty? You can't cage that. Jason, an animal control worker with too much heart and too little sense of self-preservation, found a hidden USB in Titan's vest, risked everything, sedated the dog, and smuggled him out under the radar. That wild mutt dragged Jason right. To Eleanor, my sharp-as-a-tack old neighbor, who'd seen men ransacking my home hours before the raid, with photos that tore the false case against me apart. Suddenly, I wasn't alone. Lucia, a rookie cop I'd mentored, started digging, uncovering tampered evidence and overhearing my captain's chilling words, "Find that dog, or the whole operation falls apart." Lucia quit, went underground with Jason, Eleanor, and Titan, and piece by piece, they exposed the rotten core. Cops, judges, a commissioner running a ruthless racket, snatching black neighborhoods, fabricating charges to evict families, flipping land for profit, all under the guise of urban renewal. My arrest? Just the latest in their war on anyone who dared resist. Prison was no hell. It was worse. They put me in general population, letting inmates come for me, calling it justice. 3 tried to kill me in the showers, but training and luck kept me alive. Then Vanessa, a framed civil rights lawyer fighting the same developers, stepped in. We swapped stories, mapped out the targets, and saw the machine's gears turning, crushing anyone who got in its way. Outside, Titan and the team dug deeper, finding financial records, surveillance plans, even a blueprint to bulldoze entire communities. The corruption ran to the top. Commissioner Palmer, D.A. Preston, Captain Sullivan, men who built a fortress of power with City Hall, courthouse, and cops. The twist? Hidden in Harrington's files was his own secret ledger. Dirty money, hidden betrayals, secrets even his closest partners never knew. Titan led them to the smoking gun, a hunting cabin where the murder weapon was found. A gun officially destroyed, now planted to frame me. Instructions were clear. Frame Zoe. Break her. Erase her. All before a city council vote to bulldoze 5 entire neighborhoods in one ruthless sweep. My trial? A farce. An all-white jury? A hostile judge? A lawyer asleep at the wheel. I spoke. Out, called the fake evidence. But they slammed contempt charges, threatened to silence me for good. Outside, the team raced against time to get the truth to the FBI, while the corrupt commissioners torched every file that could bring them down. The DA called in every favor to block my appeals, and cops were ordered to shoot Titan on sight, because he wasn't just a dog, he was a threat. On the day they planned to end me, chaos erupted like a storm breaking chains. Titan, fearless and unstoppable, slipped past prison guards, set off fire alarms, and dropped the last piece of undeniable proof right on the warden's desk. Federal marshals and cameras flooded the gates, and the governor blinked. My execution stopped just seconds before the end. Desperate, my captain tried to force the needle himself, but was tackled by staff. The conspiracy crumbled quietly, under the weight of handcuffs on powerful men and the sight of a black woman walking free from death. 6 months later, 37 officials faced indictments, judges lost their licenses, and the commissioner awaited trial for hate crimes. The city started to change, not because justice fell from the sky, but because people like Jason, Lucia, Eleanor, and Titan fought in shadows nobody saw. They exposed not just a corrupt system, but a mindset that valued power over people, where voices like mine were disposable. Yet here we are. I started a foundation to catch the next injustice before it spreads. Titan? He's still by my side. More than a service dog, a partner whose instincts saved lives, maybe part of some secret experiment, but always driven by a heart bigger than his mind. And the biggest shock? Palmer, the man who tried to bury me, was my father, a man so full of hate he'd destroy his own blood rather than face the truth. Maybe that's the cruelest lesson. Prejudice needs no reason, just a scapegoat. The world only changes when people refuse to stay silent, when they build something stronger together. The neighborhoods saved, the businesses reopened, the people who stood tall, all bricks in a better future. So what does justice mean to you? A verdict, a sentence, or the courage to fight when the whole world says stop? Tell me your story, like if you believe even broken systems can be fixed by enough hands. Subscribe to hear more stories that punch back against darkness, because sometimes all it takes is one loyal friend on 2 legs or 4 to remind us that truth never dies quietly, not when someone's fighting for it, and maybe that's exactly what scares them most.